They have been the talk of this show, it feels like, since the end of the playoffs. Dion Dawkins, Bills offensive tackle. 6 years, all with the Bills. Their highest-rated offensive lineman all 6 years.
What up?
Bring it, bring it, bring it. Bills nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. So you get out, you talk, you back it up. So the Buffalo Bills are this quiet team we never talk about. And all of a sudden, there's the Stefon Diggs stuff. Everybody's like, what's going on? So I like Stefon.
Me too.
But I'm an older guy, and I've seen my entire life that receivers are a little bit like the NBA guys in pro football. They break the huddle first. They're kind of on their own island. You're part of a unit.
Yeah.
Great wide receivers out there. Give me the ball. I'm covered. Throw it up. And the great ones, Devontae Adams and Stefon and Justin, they make the catch. How concerned are you, though? The gestures, the mini camp, you a little concerned?
Man, listen, I think it's so funny, right, how the world is so much more concerned than their actual teammates. Like, we don't care at all because there's nothing to really be worried about. You know, I think for an example, let's say you have a conversation with one of your best friends, and let's say one word is maybe tweaked a little bit where you're like, oh, did he just say that? Whatever. We're a group of men that love each other, play with each other, have been around each other for such a long time. And I think that media has taken things so far left where there's really the only way to go but right. So we have been living on that right side since. And there's no worries at all. Zero worries. You know, Steph is Steph, Josh is Josh, and they're brothers, you know, and they love each other.
So the mini camp, can you just explain what happened? I won't even be a nosy media guy. What happened?
What happened? From top to bottom, a bunch of guys reported to OTAs for mandatory minicamp and practiced. We practiced hard. We practiced well. We had a lot of conversations of what we're going to do in this season, and we worked hard at it. It's work. It is work. It's fun, and it's football. You know, so the guys were in the same vicinity doing what, and we do. We joke. We have fun. We argue. We compete, and that's just what we do.
What happened against Cincinnati? It was such a surprise. Not just you lose. Everybody loses. It's okay to lose. The Chiefs lose. Yep. Everybody loses. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah, man. That Cincinnati game was definitely weird. You are definitely right. You go through your ups and downs, and it's sad that we go through a down at a time like that, but we just hit a down at the wrong time. And I think with the journey that we have been on, we have went through every phase of football that can happen, which will be the recipe for the creation of this season. But Cincinnati, it was just a different feel. Everything just felt weird. I don't want to blame it on anything, but like from the first time that we met them, we had a tragedy happen. And then the second time that we played them, it was just like that energy. It was just very, very, very weird. That I don't even know how to explain it. It was just a very, very rare feeling. And I think it was felt through the entire locker room, through the coaching staff, through everything. It was just a very unique situation that was just.
Team was flat.
It was a flat. Yeah, it was no charge. It was no electricity, but there was something, but it just wasn't the Bills. Whatever football gods jumped on our back, they jumped on us. And I mean, they jumped on us from the top turnbuckle, Jeff Hardy style. So
you've been there 6 years, highest graded offensive lineman. It's a team that has struggled to consistently run. It's different because you have this player, very much Big Ben Cam Newton, where he can kind of be the running game.
Yes.
But there are times as an offensive lineman, he's ad-libbing the run. It's not a choreographed design run. It does it, and it's not a knock on Josh. Lamar does this. Josh does this. Big Ben did this. Mm-hmm. That Cam's were more planned, usually. They did some stuff with Cam. But, I mean, sometimes Big Ben, he'd move. Is it hard to establish a consistent run game when a lot of it's ad-libbed?
I think, great question, man. Like, that's a great question. I think it's hard to create a strict game plan when your team is filled with superstars.
And
playmakers. Like, you got Stefon Diggs. Like, you got Josh Allen. You have Gabe Davis. You have Dawson Knox. You have...
Now you have Kincaid, great tight end from
right.
Utah.
Like Kincaid, like our running backs, Cook. We had Singletary. We had Moss. We had all of these guys where it's just like the ball can be in a lot of people's hands at one time. And you go in a game and you game plan, and then you see a weakness and you're like, all right, well, we could emphasize more here, or we could also do it here, or we can also do it here, or we can throw our left tackle a touchdown. Like there's so many different things that you can do. And I just think that it's a difficult job for whoever is in charge to really figure out where to put that ball at that time. But of course, like, we want the ball in Josh, like Allen's hand. Like who is the world kidding? Who am I kidding? Right? Like, Josh signed a contract. Josh is a superstar. Josh is on the front cover of Madden. The ball is going to be in Josh's hands regardless, because he's the quarterback. But we want him to make the plays. He is our playmaker, and it's on him to figure out where that ball should go. So, it's definitely difficult.
You think it's difficult to be the OC there? Because Josh is so talented. What exactly do you do with him?
Man, it's difficult to be in the NFL in charge. It's difficult to have a room full of superstars. It's difficult to have a room full of A-plus players all the way across the board, because every move could be your best move, and sometimes a move could be your worst.
When 6 years with the Bills, when was the moment? Because Josh Allen came from Wyoming, so you probably didn't watch him a lot. Small school,
yep.
Didn't dominate there. I watched them against Oregon and Iowa, and he had some struggles. He was a big, tall, skinny kid that could throw it a mile. When was the first practice or moment that you were like, "Oh yeah, that's going to work here"? Was it early?
It was definitely early. It was definitely early. Honestly, it's very weird. I knew that Josh was drastically different when we were in the field house playing basketball. When we were in the field house playing in basketball. Rookie year. And I seen how he shot the basketball and how he dunked and how he handled himself. I said, I'll tell you the truth, I ain't never seen no kid from Wyoming with no farm background to play with a basketball like that. And I'm from Jersey, so that's the Mecca. It was different. And then when he got in the games and preseason, and then when we went through all of our phases, when I seen Josh run and when he jumped over the guy in Minnesota, I knew the superstar was born. And it was just on that moment if he was going to feed on it or if he was going to let it crush him. And at that moment, he fed and he feasted. So it was a different vibe.
So Buffalo is a whole different ball game. Like Green Bay, it's a small market, a little hard to get in trouble. It's not a huge free agent market. But my wife used to work in HR, and she said the nicest people in America live in Buffalo. What is it like to be a pro athlete in Buffalo?
I'm here talking to you, man, and I'm a left tackle. I'm a lineman, and that's what it's like playing in Buffalo. The fans treat every player as if they're Josh Allen, and it's amazing to go from everybody didn't have that opportunity to go to one of them giant schools, Florida State, Alabama, Auburn, Texas. Nobody got that opportunity. Everybody didn't. So for me playing and I'm speaking on my experience specifically. Right. For me going
you went to Temple.
To Temple, we never we sold out the link twice, and that was because we played Penn State and Notre Dame. The majority of the fans there were Penn State and Notre Dame fans.
That's right.
So I got that feeling twice, and it was the best feeling ever. And going to Buffalo and feeling how the fans treat their athletes, I was like, bruh, I couldn't even imagine this in college.
When you guys got snowed in, local people came with snowblowers to your houses.
Listen, the best thing ever. You wake up in the morning and you're like, what the heck is going on? And people are, you got to get to work, like hot chocolate ready and everything. But these guys got warm croissants and hot chocolate for us in the morning that they are making in their house, and then also shoveling and blowing the snow from in front of our house. But they treat us like kings, man. And it's truly an amazing thing. If anybody haven't been to in Buffalo, they need to, just go over there and feel it, because they won't understand it until they feel it.
Okay, so now you play the Jets in the opener, and it's really, the NFL gave us an all-time.
My guy, right?
He gets
Jets, what? Knots. Yeah, that's this guy, bro.
So let's talk about that rivalry, because their D-line is a handful.
They are.
And they gave your O-line last year some problems, some pushback. Yeah. The games were close, even though they shouldn't have been, because you're a way better team.
Right.
Quentin Williams, a great player. I mean, they got dudes up front.
Right.
They just drafted a kid out of Florida State the year before last, the edge, Johnson. He's a baller. So tell me about the Jets, that D-line, O-line, right? Your takeaway on that Jets defense.
So I'm going to hijack this right now. So you just said something that kind of just struck. You said that it was a game that wasn't supposed to be close, but it was close because we were the better team, right? What makes you automatically think that?
Josh Allen. So
you're talking about our quarterback. So because of our quarterback, you think that our games are just supposed to be drastically easy?
Well,
in the NFL with 32 other teams that are professional athletes?
I'm not saying easy.
Okay.
But those games were tight.
They're in our division, and they're pushing to win a championship as well. But I'm going to tell you, the O-line and the D-line, trenches every single week is a battle. We go through nicks and bruises and little things in our body every single week that can make us stronger or weaker by game. The Jets play us extremely hard twice a year, top tier. I am a huge fan of the Jets and the Dolphins. Those two defensive lines play us the hardest.
Really?
Every single year. The Patriots too. Like, I don't want to even sleep on the Pats, because my guy Judon is over there and he does a great job. But what I'm saying is the Jets are dogs. They get better every single year. Their team is getting better every single year on depth chart and on the field presence. They're getting their swagger. They're doing their thing. Big Q is in the middle, and he does his thing, obviously.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a great player.
Oh, he's a top 5 D lineman. Yeah.
And as the battle in the trenches, the defensive line's job is to push us back, and the O-line's job is to keep them from pushing us too far back. Right. They're going to push us back at some point. Somebody is going to be just off grid a little bit, and that's just life. But I think when it comes to wins and losses, if we have more wins and they have more losses, I think our O-line is definitely doing what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so you had 726 pass protections last year. It gave up only a couple sacks. So I love talking offensive linemen, because I always ask this. Who is a defensive lineman that may not be all pro, but it's a body type, it's a first step? Who's a guy that doesn't get the respect in the NFL that you face, and your takeaway is, that dude is a handful? It's amazing. I've talked to Pro Bowl linemen. They're like, the guy, the Giants, Olivier Vernon or something. Some guy came on the show. He's like, body type, big feet. It's like, gives me nothing but trouble. Underrated guy you face?
Man, I don't even think anybody is underrated, because we look at everybody high regardless.
Who's the best?
The best?
Yes.
I think it's Von Miller. And I'm going to tell
Why?
you, Von is just a different dude. He's older. He's skilled. He has the respect. He has the fear factor being on the field. He has the presence. And then he can bend and be shifty in different ways that everybody can't. But the Jets specifically, you could tell the Jets strength coach is who the Jets strength coach is, right? And then you can look at the players and be like, oh, they all work out with the same strength coach, because they all have like that giant body type. And I'm speaking on the Jets because I think that the Jets defensive line all the way across
is great.
Great. All the way across. Like, they have big guys, they have fast guys, they have strong guys. They have guys that push, fight, claw, and do what they do. The Dolphins as well.
Wilkins is really good for them.
Wilkins is a guy, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of Wilkins,
How come?
Trench battles, just trench battle stuff.
Is he a talker?
Chirper, man.
Oh.
Chirper on the field, off the field is just a different dude. But
Chirper.
But respectful. Like I respect ball, And there's a million guys. I don't think that I could pinpoint one, and I'm trying to think of one, but the Bengals like kind of caught me with surprise.
Well, they have a great rush end.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and they doing what they do.
All right. So now, why are you out in Los Angeles?
ESPYs, and for you?
Well, I'm here because I work here.
Yeah,
yeah.
But now I'm here because
ESPYs. And
ESPYs.
you. Okay.
And you.
Yeah, that's a big. I used to work at that company. So, okay, what is 716 Day?
716 Day is basically Buffalo's area code.
716.
716. And that's just something that I do every year for the community. I always give back to the community in tenfold because they show so much love to myself. And it's a equally thing. They show love, I give them love. And even if they didn't, I would still do it. Buffalo has been overly great. We're doing an event at MLK Park where we're giving away a bunch of bikes, shirts, food,
that's great.
products, and just having a celebration of happiness, good vibes, and a nice turn up for Buffalo. Celebration of Buffalo.
Okay, look at this. So I'm looking at your schedule right now. At the Jets. Well, it's not really at the Jets. I mean, there'll be a lot of Bills fans there.
Yeah, it'll be a home game for us.
Now, you grew up in Jersey, so you'll have your family there?
It'll be a home game for us. It'll be a home game for us, for sure.
Well, go ahead, J-Mac.
Yeah, Dion, I was going to say, I was just looking, Josh Allen got sacked 8 times by the Jets in 2 meetings last year.
Oh, my God.
That is a beautiful thing. That's a great thing for those guys that can get to the quarterback and still not catch him.
That is a lot.
And a quick Josh Allen question?
Yeah.
He it looks like he led the NFL in red zone interceptions last year with 9.
You didn't need to
bring
bring that up.
Well, here's my question. Like, you banged on the running game a lot, or lack thereof.
Well, it's not consistent because I think it's hard because Josh is such a unique player. It's like Lamar Jackson. And people say, well, how? Well, he's ad-libbing a lot of the run game. Right. So you can go into a game and say, we're going to do this. And a lot of times Josh will make a run that was a pass. So it's Big Ben with the Steelers. Like a lot of Big Ben's greatest plays were off script.
Right.
So if you find teams that run the ball, by the way, effectively, Tennessee, because Tannehill doesn't give you a lot off script. Jared Goff, when he had Gurley, didn't give you a lot off script. So if you have a quarterback, the run game is centered around a singular running back. Like McCaffrey, by the way, is going to be effective. Why? Because Brock Purdy doesn't run and Garoppolo didn't. When your quarterback runs, everybody's it's hard to establish a running back dominant run game. Even with Jalen Hurts, they moved off Miles Sanders because Jalen's moving on his own. I'm not sucking up, but I do think it's harder when your quarterback's mobile to have there's our running back, he gets 28 carries, because you go into a play that's 2nd and 9, Jalen runs for 11. All right, well, we're not going to – it changes your play calling changes based on these off-script plays.
You're right.
Yeah, it's almost –
He killed the Jets with his legs last year. Josh Allen.
He kills everybody with his
yards,
legs.
in 2 games,
I like the positive stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What else?
So the line has come down for Jets-Bills. I'm sure, we've talked about it on the show. Bills were 3-point favorites, now down to 1.5.
Oh, either way.
But still the
Bills are favored.
But still the favorite.
Yes.
Cool, with a capital F. But go ahead. What else?
It should be a great game, right? I'm very excited.
No,
Are you going to be there?
Can I get the day off Tuesday to?
Is it a Tuesday?
Well, it's a Monday night game.
It's a Monday night game.
I can't fly back after the game.
Why not?
Yeah, why
Can
not?
you talk to them about the private jet? Then
I don't. That's none of my.
I think that we
business.
should get that done because,
for the record,
like, it would be amazing just to walk off with the win and come right over to you and just shake your hand and just be like,
hey,
see you soon.
It should be a great game. I think it's best game of the opening weekend, right?
For sure.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
But either.
Do you guys talk about it? I mean,
What?
is it like it's not just playing the Commanders? It ain't playing the Raiders. No, there's nothing against them, but it's not a game against the NFC. It's
an
your division.
in division game, and
different.
like I mentioned, it's always bad blood. It's always bad blood, and that's just the way it goes. The Jets come out to slice throats as well as we do, and it's a very, very, very violent game for the trenches, and we understand that it's going to be more than a 4-quarter battle every time we touch the field against anybody in our division.
Peyton Manning always said there's like 4 seasons. There's the preseason.
Right.
There's regular season.
Yep.
There's games agames against your division.
And then
there's playoff football.
Yes.
And he's like, division games are absolutely Steelers-Ravens. Does not feel like Steelers-Commanders.
No.
It doesn't.
And it won't. And everybody in the building has that intensity up, and everybody on the football field's intensity is sky high. And that's why when you see those games, a lot of different things happen because there's so many emotions that are flying because we know how important those in-division games are during the season.
All right. Dion Dawkins, great seeing you. Great having you on the show. Way to go, Dave.
I love it here.
It's nice.
I really do. I love it here, especially when I have a direct enemy. A direct enemy.
Enemy.
He's just an agitator.
Nah, he is a Jets. Do you have a Jets tat?
No, come on.
You for sure have a Jets tattoo.
But I would never get a sports tattoo.
But like, do you have like one of them little stamp things that like dry off?
You think I'm one of those fanboys?
I mean, I'm just making sure, bro. I'm just making sure because
he only has one team that he ever talks about. That's it.
The
Jets, he grew up with the Knicks, but he doesn't care.
Very
he grew
excited.
up with the Yankees, he doesn't care. He literally.
Do you have like a fat head at your house of like Aaron Rodgers?
I don't even think I have a Jets jersey.
Like you were probably like the first guy to click add to cart.
Come on, man. I'm a grown man.
That's what's scary about it.
No.
I guess it's scary.
That's not. Like, I'll just talk trash with Cowherd.
Not really.
Maybe wear a Jets t-shirt once in a while.
No.
So I just want to all right. So if and when the Bills win, right?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I think you should come in here with a Dion Dawkins jersey on and sit there and talk about Dion Dawkins and the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen the entire day.
Last time we made a bet was about the Seahawks. And I had to shave the logo on the side of my head. So
that's too much.
The hairstylist here was like, Jason, you can't do that anymore. I was like, fine. No
I think the Dawkins jersey does perfect.
I will.
And you should have like
closer to kickoff.
Stick figures.
I got to make sure
Josh Allen
gets
digs the whole game
healthy. Dion,
yeah.
Like if Aaron Rodgers ain't there, we're in trouble.
See, you see what I'm saying? He has no hope in his own team.
It's sad.
No hope.
She'll lie.
No hope, man. But you need to get that tattoo removed, my guy, for sure.
Great scene. Great meeting you.
Pleasure, man.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.